Have you ever found yourself looking in the mirror, maybe under those bright bathroom lights, and just sighing? You see the person you've always been, but something's different. That part in your hair seems a little wider than it used to. When you tie your hair back, it just doesn't feel as full or as thick as you remember. Or maybe it's the shower. That little clump of hair in the drain seems to get bigger every week. And each time, your heart just sinks a little. It is one of the most frustrating and, let's be honest, confidence-knocking parts of aging that nobody really wants to talk about. You feel like you're just supposed to accept it. It's just a part of getting older, people say. But what if it's not? What if it's not that your hair follicles are gone, but that they've just gone to sleep? What if they're dormant, just waiting for the right signal to wake back up? We are often told the only solutions are harsh chemicals or expensive, invasive procedures. But the truth is, our bodies are remarkable. And nature has provided some incredible and often forgotten tools that can help our bodies do what they do best: heal and regenerate. Today, we are going to talk about something truly hopeful. We're going to explore 5 forgotten natural oils that new science is revealing may have the power to help reawaken those dormant hair follicles. And no, I'm not just talking about coconut oil or olive oil. We are going deeper to the things that our grandmothers might have known, but that modern science is just now beginning to understand. In this video, we're going to uncover exactly what these 5 oils are, the simple science of how they work, and the practical ways you can start using them, safely and easily, right at home. Because growing older doesn't mean giving up. It just means we have to use smarter, gentler, and more supportive strategies to feel our best. Now, before we jump in, if you care about staying healthy, vibrant, and independent as you age, I'd be so grateful if you'd consider subscribing to our channel and turning on those notifications. We share the kind of senior health tips that doctors are often just too busy to tell you. And I have a quick question, and I'm always so curious about this. Are you watching from the United States, or perhaps Canada, the UK, Australia, or somewhere else entirely? Let me know in the comments below. It's wonderful to see how far our health community stretches. Alright, let's get started. The first forgotten oil on our list is one you probably have in your kitchen, but you've likely never thought to put it on your head. We're talking about pumpkin seed oil. Yes, that beautiful dark green oil you might drizzle on a salad. It turns out this culinary oil is a hidden powerhouse for hair health. And it all comes down to one of arch enemies of hair as we age. That enemy is a hormone called dihydrotestosterone, or DHT. Now, that sounds complicated, but let's break it down simply. We all have testosterone, men and women. As we get older, an enzyme in our body called 5-alpha reductase gets a little overactive. It converts more of our testosterone into this much stronger and often problematic DHT. Here's the problem for your hair. DHT can attach itself to the receptors in your hair follicles, especially if you're genetically prone to it. And when it does, it's like a bully, slowly squeezing the life out of the follicle. It causes the follicle to shrink, a process called miniaturization. The hair that grows out becomes thinner, weaker, and shorter. The growing, or anagen phase, gets cut short. Eventually, the follicle just gives up, closes up shop, and goes dormant. So, how do we fight this bully? This is where pumpkin seed oil comes in. It is rich in a unique plant compound called beta-sitosterol. This compound has been shown in studies to act as a natural 5-alpha reductase inhibitor. Imagine the enzyme is a key, and DHT is the result of that key turning in a lock. Beta-sitosterol in pumpkin seed oil essentially gums up the keyhole. It gets in the way of the enzyme, so it can't as easily create all that follicle-shrinking DHT. It's not a complete blockade, but it's a significant disruption. This isn't just theory. A 2014 study in Korea that reduced oral supplements gave us a huge clue. They took men with male pattern baldness and gave half of them 400 milligrams of pumpkin seed oil a day, and the other half a placebo. After 24 weeks, the group taking the pumpkin seed oil saw an average hair count increase of 40%. The placebo group, a 5% increase. That is a staggering difference. While that study was on oral use, the compounds in the oil can also be absorbed topically, right where you need them. Plus, the oil itself is loaded with zinc, magnesium, and omega-3 fatty acids, all of which are critical nutrients for building strong, healthy hair strands. So how do we use it? You don't want to just pour a bottle of salad oil on your head. You want to get a high-quality, cold-pressed, organic pumpkin seed oil. You can use it as a gentle hair mask. Take a couple of tablespoons, depending on your hair, and gently massage it into your scalp. Use the pads of your fingers, never your nails. We want to stimulate, not scratch. Massaging it in is key. It brings blood flow to the area, which we'll talk more about later, and it helps the oil penetrate. You can leave this on for about 30 minutes before you shampoo, or some people even put on a shower cap and leave it overnight, then wash it out in the morning. A word of caution. As with anything new, please do a patch test first. Put a small drop on your inner arm and wait 24 hours to make sure your skin is happy with it. But for most, it's a wonderfully nourishing, gentle oil that's tackling one of the root hormonal causes of hair thinning. It's not just coating the hair, it's helping to protect the follicle itself. So we've tackled the hormone bully, DHT. But what about the foundation of the hair? What about the very lifeblood of the follicle? This brings us to our second and perhaps most scientifically backed oil on the list. Rosemary oil. Now you've probably heard of this one. It's not as forgotten as pumpkin seed, but most people don't understand the sheer power of what this herb can do. People think of it as a nice scent or something for cooking chicken, but in the world of hair science, rosemary is an absolute giant. Its power was put to the ultimate test in the landmark 2015 study that everyone needs to know about. Researchers did a direct head-to-head comparison. They took a group of people with androgenetic alopecia, pattern baldness, and split them in two. One group was given the leading hair loss drug, 2% minoxidil. You probably know it as Rogaine. The other group was given rosemary essential oil, properly diluted, of course. They followed them for 6 months. At the 3-month mark, neither group saw much change. This is important, and I'll come back to it. But at the 6-month mark, both groups, I want you to really hear this, both groups saw a significant and equal increase in hair count. Let me repeat that. This humble, natural, plant-based oil performed just as well as the pharmaceutical drug. But here's the kicker that makes it, in my opinion, even better. The group using minoxidil reported significantly more scalp itching, irritation, and dryness. The group using rosemary oil? Far, far fewer side effects. They got the same results, but with more comfort. So what is going on here? How does it work? Rosemary has a few tricks up its sleeve. Its primary weapon is a compound called carnosic acid. This powerful acid is known to help heal and repair nerve tissue. And what is your scalp full of? Nerve endings, right around the follicles. It's thought that carnosic acid helps to rejuvenate the nerves and tissue in the scalp, creating a healthier, more robust environment for hair to grow. But that's not all. Much like pumpkin seed oil, rosemary also has properties that help fend off DHT, So you're getting another layer of protection. And it's a potent anti-inflammatory and vasodilator. It helps to calm an angry inflamed scalp and also helps to widen the blood vessels. If you think of your hair follicle as a tiny plant, DHT is a pest trying to kill it. And the rosemary oil is the pesticide and the fertilizer all in one. It fights off the pest while feeding the root. Using it is simple, but requires diligence. You must dilute essential oils. They are incredibly potent. A good rule of thumb is to add about 10 to 15 drops of high-quality rosemary essential oil to about 2 tablespoons of a carrier oil. We'll talk about the best carrier oil in a little bit. You massage this mixture into your scalp and, like the pumpkin seed oil, leave it on. This is not a quick rinse-out product. It needs time to work, at least 30 minutes or even overnight. And here is the most important part: patience. Remember that study? It took 6 months to see the results. This is a marathon, not a sprint. You are encouraging your body to heal and to re-enter a growth phase. That takes time. But the science is clear. If you are consistent, the results can be remarkable. I hope you're finding this information useful. We're about to move on to an oil that you can literally feel working. If this is helpful so far, would you do me a small favor and just tap that like or thumbs up button? It doesn't cost a thing, but it truly helps our video reach other seniors who might be worrying about this very same issue. It lets me know I'm on the right track, and I really appreciate it. Okay, so we've talked about blocking the hormone DHT with pumpkin seed oil. We've talked about nourishing and protecting the follicle with rosemary oil. Now, let's talk about the delivery system. What do your hair follicles or any cells in your body need to live? They need blood. Blood carries oxygen, it carries nutrients, it carries life. As we get older, our circulation often becomes a bit sluggish. The tiny, delicate blood vessels, called capillaries, that feed our scalp, can narrow or become less efficient. The follicle, starved of its life supply, gets weak and goes dormant. So that brings us to our third oil. Peppermint essential oil. If you've ever used peppermint oil, you know what I'm talking about. It's that powerful, cooling, and then warming tingle. That's not just a sensation. That is a biological reaction. The main active component in peppermint oil is menthol. Menthol is a well-known vasodilator. That's just a scientific word that means it helps to relax and widen blood vessels. When you apply diluted peppermint oil to your scalp, that menthol gets to work. It triggers that tingling feeling as the capillaries in your skin expand. Imagine a tiny garden hose that's been kinked and is only letting out a trickle of water. Applying peppermint oil is like someone coming along and unkinking that hose. Suddenly, a rush of fresh, oxygen-rich blood flows to the hair follicle. This surge of blood delivers all the vital nutrients from the food you eat